The doctor asked if I wanted to help my husband recover his memory. I said yes, but nobody asked which memories I'd give him. My name is Lila Monroe. 4 years ago, I married a man who promised me the world. Tonight, I'm standing in his world, and he doesn't even remember giving it to me, but I'm getting ahead of myself. That night, my phone rang, the kind of ring that makes your heart stop. I grabbed it, half asleep. Mrs. Cross? A woman's voice. Calm, too calm? Yes? This is St. Aurelia Medical Center. Your husband Nathan Cross was in an accident. You need to come now. The phone slipped from my hand. Nathan, my Nathan, the man who kissed me goodbye every morning. I threw on clothes and drove like my life depended on it. The city lights blurred past. My hands shook on the wheel. Please be okay, please be okay. I burst through the hospital doors. A nurse pointed down a hallway. I ran. And then I saw her, Scarlett Reeves, sitting in a chair outside the emergency room. Blood on her dress, a cut above her eye. Crying. My husband's ex-girlfriend, the woman he said he'd never speak to again. Time stopped. What are you doing here? My voice came out like broken glass. She looked up, her eyes went wide. Leela, why are you here? I stepped closer. We were. A doctor came out. Mrs. Cross? I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Your husband is stable. He hit his head pretty hard. We're running tests now. He was with her? I pointed at Scarlett. The doctor looked uncomfortable. She was in the passenger seat. The floor tilted under me. 4 years I trusted him, and he was with her. They let me see him an hour later. He was unconscious, tubes everywhere, but alive. I sat beside his bed and stared at his face, the face I kissed 1,000 times. How could you? I whispered. He didn't answer, of course he didn't. Scarlett tried to come in. I blocked the door. Get out. Lila, please, I need to explain. Explain what? That you've been sleeping with my husband? Her face crumbled. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Scarlett? My voice was ice. Tell me, what were you doing in his car at 2 a.m. on Highway 1? She had no answer. That's what I thought. Get out. She left finally. I sat back down and took Nathan's hand. It was warm, alive, and I felt nothing. Then I felt something cold and sharp forming in my chest, but I didn't know what it was yet. I didn't sleep that night or the next. I sat in that uncomfortable hospital chair and watched Nathan breathe. In and out, in and out. Every breath felt like a betrayal. Nurses came and went. They gave me sympathetic looks. Poor thing, I heard one whisper. Her husband almost died. If only they knew the truth, that part of me wished he had. No, that's not fair. I didn't wish him dead. I just wished he'd never lied to me. On the second morning, a nurse brought me coffee. You should go home, rest. We'll call if anything changes. I'm staying, Mrs. Cross. I said I'm staying. She left me alone after that. That afternoon, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you. Please let me explain. Scarlett. I deleted it without responding. Another text came, then another. Nathan said he was leaving you. He said you didn't love him anymore. He said the marriage was over. I threw my phone across the room. It hit the wall and cracked. A nurse rushed in. Is everything okay? Fine, everything's fine. But it wasn't. Nothing was fine. Nothing would ever be fine again. 2 days later, Nathan woke up. I was there, holding his hand like a good wife should. His eyes opened slowly, confused, lost. Nathan? I leaned forward. Baby, can you hear me? Lila? His voice was rough. Relief flooded me. He knew my name. I'm here, you're okay, you had an accident. He tried to sit up, winced. What happened? Your car crashed on Highway 1. Do you remember? He closed his eyes, thinking hard. I was driving. I remember driving. Where were you going? I don't. His face twisted in confusion. I was coming home from work, wasn't I? My heart skipped. You don't remember anything else? No, I remember leaving the office and then nothing. A doctor walked in. Not just any doctor. My cousin Julian, Dr. Julian Hart. He was the one I'd called 2 days ago, begging him to transfer to this hospital, to be Nathan's doctor. Mr. Cross, I'm Dr. Hart. How are you feeling? Nathan rubbed his head. Confused, my head hurts. Julian checked his charts. You hit your head pretty hard. We're going to run some tests. Mrs. Cross, can I speak with you outside? We stepped into the hallway. Julian's voice dropped low. He has retrograde amnesia, short-term memory loss from the trauma. How much did he lose? We're not sure yet, but Lila. He looked at me seriously. It might be the last few years, maybe 3, maybe more. My breath caught. 3 years? Possibly. 3 years, the exact amount of time he'd been lying to me. Will it come back? I asked. Maybe, maybe not. His brain needs time to heal. We can help guide his memory recovery with gentle reminders, familiar faces, stories, photos. Something clicked in my mind. Cold, clear. So, whatever we tell him, he'll believe? Julian caught my tone. His eyes narrowed. Leela, what are you thinking? Nothing. I smiled. I just want to help my husband remember. He studied me. Be careful. Memory is fragile. I know. But I wasn't planning to be careful at all. I went back into Nathan's room. He was staring out the window. Hey, I said softly, how are you feeling? Like my brain is full of fog. He turned to me. The doctor said I might have memory loss. Don't worry. I'm here to help you remember everything. Tell me something. Anything. Help me feel real again. I sat down, took his hand, and I started building a new truth. Do you remember when we first met? I asked. At the charity gala. 5 years ago, you wore a blue dress. Relief crossed his face. Yes, I remember that. Good, and do you remember what happened 3 years ago? His face went blank. 3 years ago. You did something, Nathan, something that almost destroyed us. What? Fear filled his eyes. What did I do? I let tears fill my eyes. Real ones, because part of this story was true. You cheated on me with Scarlett Reeves. He went pale. No, I wouldn't. You did. But then you came back. You begged for forgiveness. You said you'd do anything to make it right. I don't remember that. Of course you don't. But you spent the last 3 years trying to earn back my trust. You signed half your company over to me. You gave me everything. His hand tightened on mine. Did I? Did I really do that? Yes, you said you'd never betray me again. You said I deserved everything you had. He looked lost, broken. I believe you. If you say it happened, it happened. Over the next week, I rebuilt Nathan's memory. Every story I told him was a twisted mirror of the truth. I told him Scarlett had tried to win him back after he left her for me, that she'd been calling him, begging, manipulating. I showed him documents, real ones, that Julian helped me create, showing that Nathan had signed over 49% of Crosstech Industries to me for emotional damages and reconciliation. They were fake. But Nathan's signature looked perfect on them. I really did this? He asked, staring at the papers. You insisted. You said I deserved the world after what you put me through. He nodded slowly. Then I'm glad I did. You deserve everything, Lila. I kissed his forehead. I know. Julian watched from the doorway. His face was troubled. Later, he pulled me aside. Leela, this is going too far. Too far? He destroyed me, Julian. He was with her in his car at 2 a.m. Do you know what that means? I know, but this is manipulation, legal fraud. Is it fraud if he believes it? That's not how the law works. Then maybe the law should catch up. He shook his head. Be careful. If he remembers, he won't. You said so yourself. His memory might never fully recover. Might. That's not a guarantee. Then I better work fast. I spent those hospital days carefully crafting every detail of our new history. I brought photo albums, but only certain photos. The ones that showed us happy, together in love. I told Nathan stories about romantic trips we'd taken, except in my version. They happened after his betrayal. They were his apology trips, his way of earning me back. Remember Paris? I'd say, "You flew us there for our anniversary. You said you wanted to prove your love." He'd nod, uncertain but trusting. That sounds like something I'd do. "You cried at the top of the Eiffel Tower. You said you'd never hurt me again." I cried? "You were so sorry, Nathan, so sorry." And piece by piece, I rebuilt him into the man I needed him to be, a man who owed me everything. By week 3, Nathan was being discharged. Scarlett tried to visit twice. I had security turn her away both times. She called my phone. I blocked her. She sent letters to the hospital. I burned them. Nathan never knew she tried to reach him. The day we left, Julian pulled me aside one last time. "Leila, once he's home, I can't protect you anymore. If he remembers, I'll handle it. This is dangerous. Legally and morally." "Julian," I looked him in the eyes. "Do you remember when your wife left you, when she took everything and you had nothing?" His face darkened. "That's different, is it? I helped you then. I gave you money for the lawyer. For the house, I was there. And I'm grateful. Then trust that I know what I'm doing." He sighed. "Fine, but I'm keeping records, real records, just in case." "In case of what?" "In case this blows up in your face." I smiled. "It won't." When Nathan came home, our house felt different, colder, but I smiled and played the loving wife. "Welcome home, baby." He looked around, confused. "Everything feels wrong, like I'm missing something." "You're just tired, rest. I'll take care of everything." And I did. I took over his business meetings. Doctor's orders. I told his partners. He needs time to recover. I signed documents on his behalf. With power of attorney, I showed them the papers. Julian had helped with those too. I made calls, moved money, restructured deals. Nathan trusted me completely. "You're amazing," he said one night over dinner. "I don't know what I'd do without you. You'll never have to find out." But inside I felt nothing, just cold determination. The first month home was crucial. Nathan wanted to go to the office. I convinced him to work from home instead. "The doctor said you need rest, no stress." "But the company. I'm handling it, your team knows, everyone understands." He reluctantly agreed. Every morning, I'd bring him coffee and his laptop, but I'd already gone through his emails, deleted anything from Scarlett, filtered anything that might trigger his memory. His assistant, the one who'd known about the affair, suddenly quit. I hired a new one, someone who'd never met him before. His best friend Marcus called one day. Nathan answered before I could stop him. "Marcus, hey man, how are you?" I watched nervously. "Wait, what?" "I don't remember." "No," Lila said. "Are you sure?" I grabbed the phone. "Marcus, this isn't a good time. Nathan's still recovering." "Leila, what are you doing?" "He's asking about things that don't make sense." I hung up. Nathan stared at me. "Marcus said I never signed over the company. He said I was planning to..." Marcus is confused, you know how rumors spread. People talk. "But he seemed so sure." "Nathan, do you trust me or Marcus?" "You. Of course you." "Then trust me now. Marcus doesn't know what he's talking about." I blocked Marcus's number that night. Month 2, things got interesting. Nathan wanted to reach out to old friends. "What about Marcus?" "I feel bad we haven't talked." "Marcus moved to Europe, you two lost touch." "Oh, what about my cousin Sarah?" "She sided with Scarlett during the incident, you cut her off." Every person who might tell him the truth, I carefully erased from his life. I told him his therapist retired, his assistant quit, his best friend betrayed him. I built walls around him made of lies, and he believed every single one. One day, he looked at his phone, confused. "Why don't I have any photos with Scarlett? If we dated, shouldn't there be pictures?" My heart stopped, but I stayed calm. "You deleted them all. After the cheating, you said you wanted no trace of her in your life." That sounds like something I'd do. It did, because Nathan was proud, stubborn. I was counting on that. But Nathan wasn't stupid. Little things started bothering him. Why doesn't anyone from the office visit? He asked one day. They're busy, you know how it is. But not one person? Not even Tom? We were friends for 10 years. Tom, I thought fast. Tom retired, moved to Florida. Really? That's so sudden. Heart problems. He didn't want anyone to worry. Nathan nodded, but I could see doubt creeping in. That night, I found him looking through old files on his computer. What are you doing? He jumped. Nothing, just trying to remember things. Find anything interesting? No, it's all just business stuff, contracts, emails about meetings. Because I'd already scrubbed at everything else. Come to bed, you need rest. He followed me, but I could feel him pulling away, questioning. I needed to solidify my control fast. Month 4, I went further. Nathan, we need to talk about Scarlett. He looked up from his laptop. What about her? She's been trying to contact you. Calling the office, sending emails. His face darkened. I don't want to hear from her. I know, but I think you should talk to her one last time. Why? For closure. You don't remember the pain she caused. Maybe if you face her, some memories will come back. It was a risk, but I'd prepared for this. The meeting happened at our house. I insisted on being present. Scarlett looked thin, tired, broken. She saw Nathan and tears filled her eyes. Nathan. He held up a hand. Stop, I don't remember you, but Lila told me everything. What did she tell you? That you tried to break up my marriage, that you manipulated me. No. Scarlett looked at me. That's not true. Lila, tell him the truth. I am telling him the truth, I said calmly. You were the other woman, Scarlett. You need to accept that and move on. Other woman? Nathan, you came to me. You said you were leaving her. Nathan's face twisted in confusion. That doesn't sound right. Because it's not, I said. She's lying to confuse you. Scarlett stood up. He's lying to you, Nathan. Or she is. We were together. You said you loved me. That's enough, I said coldly. Nathan asked you here for closure. Now you've said your piece. Leave. She looked at Nathan desperately. Look at me, please. Don't you remember anything? Our trip to Napa. The night at the beach? The ring you. Get out. Nathan's voice was hard, final. Scarlett's face crumbled. She looked at me with pure hatred. You're going to hell for this, Lila. I'll save you a seat. She left. Nathan turned to me. Thank you for being here. That was harder than I thought. It's okay, baby. She can't hurt us anymore. But as I said it, I saw something flicker in his eyes, a shadow, a doubt. I needed to move faster. That night, Nathan had nightmares. I heard him crying in his sleep. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I shook him awake. Nathan, what's wrong? He sat up, sweating. I dreamed there was a woman, red hair, she was crying, I made her cry. My stomach clenched. It was just a dream. It felt real, like a memory. Dreams aren't memories. Dr. Hart said your brain might create false memories while it heals. Maybe, but he didn't look convinced. The nightmares continued. Every few nights he'd wake up gasping. The beach, he'd say. I remember the beach. We went to the beach lots of times. No. This was different. There was someone with me. Not you. Nathan, you're confusing dreams with reality. But I knew the truth. His real memories were fighting back. I called Julian. He's starting to remember. I warned you, Layla, the brain heals. Memory comes back. How long do I have? Could be days, could be months, there's no way to know. Then I'm ending this now. Month 6, I scheduled the final meeting. Nathan's lawyer, his accountant, Julian, and me. Gentlemen, thank you for coming. Nathan and I have an announcement. Nathan looked confused. We do. I squeezed his hand. Remember? We talked about this. You wanted to restructure the company. I did? Yes, for tax purposes and future planning, right, gentlemen? The lawyer who I paid very well nodded. That's correct, Mr. Cross. These documents finalize the transfer of primary ownership to Mrs. Cross, with you retaining a 30% share and full executive salary. Nathan blinked. This is what I wanted. You insisted, I said softly. You said after everything, you wanted to make sure I was always taken care of no matter what. He stared at the papers. For a long moment he didn't move. Nathan? I prompted gently. The lawyers need you to sign today. The fiscal year ends next week. This feels wrong somehow. Wrong? Baby, this is what you wanted. What you insisted on, remember? You said I deserved the world. The lawyer cleared his throat. Mr. Cross, if you're having doubts, no. Nathan shook his head. No, I trust Lila. If she says this is what I wanted, then it is. He picked up the pen and he signed. I watched the ink dry on the page and felt something crack inside me, victory, cold and hollow. But I wasn't done yet. The accountant spoke up. There's one more document, the trust fund for any future children. Nathan looked up. Children? You set it up last year, I lied smoothly. Remember? You said you wanted to make sure our future family was protected. I don't remember that. You were very insistent about it. You said it was important. He signed that too. Every signature bound him tighter to my version of reality. Every signature gave me more control. When they left, Nathan sat in silence. Are you okay? I asked. I don't know, I feel like I'm signing away my life. Don't be dramatic. You're protecting your family. That's all. But he didn't look convinced. Month 7 brought unexpected problems. A reporter started asking questions. Mrs. Cross, there are rumors about your husband's accident, about a passenger in the car. Can you comment? No comment. Sources say it was his ex-girlfriend, is that true? I said no comment. But the story didn't die. Nathan saw it online. Lila, this article says Scarlett was in my car during the accident. Tabloid garbage. But what if it's true? What if I was with her? You weren't. You were coming home from a business dinner. We've been over this. Then why is she claiming? Because she's desperate. She's been trying to break us up for years. He rubbed his temples. My head hurts. I can't think straight. Then don't think. Just trust me. But doubt was spreading. I could see it in his eyes. I needed one more move, one final play. I planned the final scene carefully, a dinner party at our house, Nathan's remaining business partners, a few select friends I'd allowed into our circle. During dessert, I stood up. Everyone, Nathan and I have an announcement. Nathan looked surprised. I hadn't told him about this. 3 years ago, my husband betrayed me. He had an affair with his ex-girlfriend. It broke me, shattered everything I believed in. Gasps around the table. Nathan went white. Leela, what are you? But then he had an accident, and he forgot. Forgot the affair, forgot the betrayal, and I helped him remember things a little differently. You could hear a pin drop. What are you saying? Nathan's voice shook. I pulled out a folder, placed it in front of him. I'm saying that for the last 9 months. I've been feeding you a lie. You didn't beg for forgiveness. You didn't sign over your company out of guilt. You did it because I made you believe you had. He opened the folder. Inside were the real documents. Photos of him and Scarlett, text messages, hotel receipts, the truth. His face went gray. This isn't. It is. All of it. You were with her, Nathan, for 6 months. You lied to me every single day. And when I found out, when you crashed that car with her in it, I decided to give you what you always said she deserved. What did I say? You said Scarlett deserved the life I was living. So I gave it to her. I gave her nothing. Just like you gave me. He stood up, shaking. This can't be legal. You manipulated me. I'll sue. You'll what? Prove that you were mentally competent when you signed? That's going to be difficult since you've been under psychiatric care for 9 months, Dr. Hart. Documented everything. Julian looked down. He'd kept every record, just as I'd asked. Besides, I continued, do you really want this to go public? Tech billionaire loses company after affair with ex-girlfriend? The press would have a field day. Nathan sank back into his chair, broken. Why? He whispered. Why would you do this? I leaned close enough that only he could hear. Because you said you'd never forget me. I just made sure of it. The room erupted. People shouting, questions flying, phones recording. By morning, we were headline news. Tech CEO's wife admits to elaborate revenge plot. Billionaire manipulated during amnesia. Love, lies, and legal warfare. Nathan's lawyers moved fast, filed every motion they could think of. But I'd been smarter. Every document had been reviewed by lawyers. Every signature witnessed, every step documented. And Julian's medical records showed that Nathan had been competent at the time of signing, confused. Yes, but legally competent. The case dragged on for months. In the end, the court ruled that while my actions were morally questionable, they weren't technically illegal. Nathan kept 30% of Crosstech Industries. I kept everything else. The next day, I went to his office, my office now, and sat in his chair. The view was incredible. The whole city spread out below. Nathan tried to contest the documents. His lawyers said it would be almost impossible. He'd signed everything willingly, in front of witnesses, with medical documentation supporting his mental state at the time. Scarlett tried to come forward, tell her side of the story, but without proof, without Nathan's support. She was just the other woman no one believed. The media loved it. Some called me a genius, others called me a monster. I didn't care either way. Julian asked me if I felt guilty. No, I said honestly. I feel free. You destroyed him. Lila. He destroyed me first. I just returned the favor with interest. Today, Nathan still has 30% of the company, still makes millions. But Crosstech Industries is mine. I see him sometimes at board meetings. He looks older now, tired. He remembers everything. The accident, the affair, what I did. Last month he tried to talk to me. Lila, please, can we just... No. I'm sorry. For everything I was wrong. I was stupid. But what you did was justice. You took 3 years of my life. I took everything you built. Seems fair to me. How can you be so cold? I smiled. You taught me, remember? He walked away. Scarlett tried to reach out too, begging me to do the right thing. I blocked her number. She tried coming to my office once. Security escorted her out. Please, she cried. You've won. You've taken everything. Can't you just let it go? I did let it go, I told her. I let go of the woman I used to be. The one who trusted blindly, who loved completely. That woman is gone. What are you now? Smarter. Some people say I went too far, that revenge isn't healing. Maybe they're right. But when I sit in this office, in this empire I took piece by piece, I don't feel empty. I feel powerful. And sometimes, late at night, I think about that phone call at 2:47 a.m. The moment my world shattered, and I smile. Because I took those broken pieces and built something better, something that's entirely mine. If something like this ever happened to you, what would you do? And tell me, did you like this story?